New information, one of two teenagers charged in the death of Fairfield Spanish teacher Noema Graber last year will have his trial moved to a new venue. A judge granting the request this week following a request from Willard Miller's attorney. And the decision comes after Miller's request to have his trial moved to juvenile court. Miller is charged with first-degree murder in the death of Graber and is being tried as an adult. That other suspect charged in Graber's death, Jeremy Goodale, has not yet asked for a change of venue in his case. His trial scheduled to begin in late August. Miller's is scheduled to begin in early November. Both have pleaded not guilty. This past school year was a very difficult one for students and staff at Fairfield High School, a community dealing with the murder of a teacher, allegedly by two students, as well as a student taking their own life. However, Local 5's Mary Sugden discovered a team of mental health experts rushing in to guide the Trojans through these tragedies.
Just before Fairfield High School was faced with the tragic death of a beloved teacher, it was forced to say goodbye to a student.
Our student body and our staff were also processing a suicide that happened in the fall. So it was almost a 2-week turnaround from the suicide to the murder.
A pair of traumas for the Trojans to process, adding on to the stressors of navigating a pandemic, which is why the Iowa Center for School Mental Health reached out to see if it could help.
And they set up meetings with our students, and they had class meetings, and they did such a phenomenal job.
A lot of people were feeling pretty isolated and alone in their experiences, or maybe questioning, is it normal that I'm feeling this way?
In dealing with the murder and suicide, students and staffs had the chance to confront other issues they may not have realized they were struggling with.
Or maybe reminded them of past difficult times in their lives that they maybe had never talked with anyone about.
The center is funded through the state and federal COVID relief funds.
We have been doing this free of charge as that's part of the mission to improve social, emotional, behavioral, psychological outcomes for K-12 students and for educators.
The district says these services reached all its high school students.
To be able to touch 500 students is just such an impact.
It's a hard job, it's a heavy job, but to see the impact and that it's making a difference and that, kids and educators feel supported, that's the most important thing.
And Mary, a recent incident at the school district caused some anxiety for students and staff as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Samantha, last Friday there was an early dismissal after the district went on to lockdown due to reports of a man brandishing a gun near the elementary. Now, police were not able to locate that potential suspect and everyone was safely released. But the district tells me after the tragedy in Texas, this was an incident that caused a lot of anxiety. So this week, those counselors were made available to all of the schools.
All right. Thank you, Mary, for that very important update.